Manslamming. It's a term that exploded on social media this week. The term is used to describe the collision between two people, apparently most often men who refuse to alter their trajectory on a crowded street. It's the latest term to describe the poor behavior of men in general. It's joining manspreading and mansplaining in the man section of the Feminist Dictionary. Catherine Timpf is a writer with the National Review Online. She joins me now from New York. Catherine, you're not a fan of this man-slamming idea, and you even went out and did your own experiment. First off, explain how this term came about. Before you tell us your experiment, how did it come about and what prompted you to do your own?
One woman said she heard from her friend that if you walk down the street in New York City, men will bump into you, women will get out of your way. So she decided to just walk without moving out of anyone's way. She claimed that she could count on one hand over almost 2 months the amount of men that did not run into her and the amount of women that did. That seemed almost impossible to me, just even statistically. So I decided to go ahead and try it out myself.
All right, let's look at some of your experiment, which you videotaped, and we've got a clip here.
You see everybody walking that way,
Sorry.
All right, so you walked around Central Station, I believe you said it was, and you had more
Grand
women,
Central, yep.
Grand Central in New York City, you had more men than women bumping in. Let me just say, where I'm from, if you don't turn around and apologize or shoulder check after you run into somebody like that, you're going to get punched. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. So maybe New Yorkers aren't as tough as I thought.
Yeah, a lot of people just didn't even move out of the way or acknowledge that they hit me. So she claims that she could count on one hand the amount of women that didn't move out of her way. Not buying it, seeing as in 1 hour, 66 women bumped into me. Sorry, buddy, that's not true. It's not a gendered thing, and obviously sexism is real, and when for whatever reason these new feminists try to come up with things that are sexist that aren't, people aren't taking actual sexism seriously. I mean, getting bumped into on the street is a gendered phenomenon. Only men do it. What are you trying to prove? What are you doing? How is this helping women at all?
You know what it is? You know who bumps into you and doesn't apologize? Rude people.
Right. If you walk like that, if you walk and ram into people, you're gonna ram into people. That seems pretty basic. I don't know how you would even be creative enough to think that it would be a sexist thing. I mean, I give her points for creativity, but I had to test it out. It just didn't seem statistically possible to me.
You've got your own creativity, and I love this column that you wrote the other day at National Review, and you had 10 ways men oppress women with their everyday behavior. Bro-plementing, mansalting, broken-mouth chewing, mentoring, sleep manpia, mantroduction, manspiration, manterrogating, manpacking, and mentoring. I'll post these up on my social sites. I'll let everyone read them. But bro-plementing is my favorite. Explain this. Complimenting a woman is offensive?
Yes, complimenting her without explicit consent. I've heard, hitting on women is rape culture, right? But insulting a woman is also sexist.
So that's mansalting, though. I just want to know the terms. Mansalting is insulting, and bro-plementing is where you don't even have to be hitting on a woman. You compliment her, and that's oppressing her?
Right, of course, because you don't know if she wants you to compliment her. How dare you as a man think that your male privilege is okay to just violate a woman's space by complimenting her? I just try to kind of follow their logic and say, hey, what can I make sexist? What can I look at being sexist? And I use their arguments, and that's what I got. A lot of people didn't even realize that it was a satire, and I think that really shows how bad things have gotten.
My son, 14 years old, couldn't stop laughing at the equality video that was going around the other day. And if you haven't seen that, look that up. But let me ask you to explain one more, and I think married women around the world might agree with this, and that this is oppressive. Sleep manpia.
Right, yes. If a man snores, it's because he won't even let a woman be unaware of his presence, even when he is not conscious. He has to keep oppressing her with his presence. Now, if a woman snores, though, that's because she's been man-interrupted all day long, and it's the only way she can possibly get her voice out.
Oh,
so I think it's, you know, pretty simple. Biological
Thanks for
oppression.
coming out. Catherine, thanks for coming out and for making me laugh. I need this today. Byline at sunmedia.ca. As I said, this column will be up on the social sites along with Catherine's video.